She's doing way
No. Ain't that shit weird?
She's 45 on the app. Middle age.
What does the age have to do with anything? If anything, we should be praising those that are older than us that can show us the way. What the fuck is you talking about?
But she's showing us the bad way.
Cha-cha. You know what? You should take your own message and shut the fuck up. That's what you need.
It's the problem with the black community right here. Men like him, men like the Haitian, and men like Concrete.
King,
the fact that they exist and they worrying about everybody but the people in their small community. Y'all know that's how community works, right? You have to police the people in you can't be in New York trying to police the people in Miami. It's black. All right, Cha-Cha, go to the other page.
Very, very disrespectful, Cha-Cha.
Stinky ass nigga. Oh God, this is insane. I'm not opening no more rooms. This is it. Nothing but haters. Oh boy.
Did you know for trading places,
Yo, Cha-Cha, you sound like a child, man. Be mad in the corner. Be mad in the corner. Take your time out. Be mad in the corner.
Sig.
Yo, what's going on? Yo, what's going on? What's up, Jazz?
Where are you?
I'm at work. I just got to the airport. I'm getting my paperwork and shit together. I'm about to fly out.
You're not gonna help me?
Not at 34,000.
Just don't.
You didn't hear these people say, black. If you get into trouble, your life is over. You'll never be successful. Staying out of trouble.
Yeah, I wouldn't say never. Wouldn't say never being successful now because people turn their lives around. But I would say statistically, if you do get involved with the law, your odds of being successful are diminished.
Only if you're black, though, because most white people have run into the law all the time. It definitely don't stop them.
Hey, last time that I checked, we have a whole president that caught how many felonies? Stop playing.
Zero. Actually, none.
Right, how many rappers that we had beat cases they clearly were guilty on shit. We had a football player murder 2 people and got away with it.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
What?
And died at 32.
That's why I say, what is getting into trouble? Like, how do you define that? Getting caught? Or like having a guilty verdict? Like, what is getting into trouble? Because that doesn't stop nobody from doing shit.
There we go.
But like I said, it could stop an immigrant because once you commit crimes, you can no longer be in this country. So yes, when we hear from immigrant children and immigrants, there is a different story about getting in trouble because then you can't stay here anymore.
No, you're wrong. I mean, if you have a good Jewish lawyer, you can stay in this country. It's about the money.
No way. No fucking way.
What you mean? I've been convicted of...
No way, nigga.
I've been a convicted criminal, but yet my
and
Jewish...
you're not in America either, bitch.
I live in America. I'm a citizen. Thank God.
Where you live at?
In Dallas, Texas. Thank God to my Jewish lawyer,
Nah, you don't live in Dallas. You're a liar.
I do.
Thanks.
I do.
Go on mute.
Let him eat. Let him eat, Jasmine. That's not fair.
Show me your ID. Show me your ID.
Why would I show you my IP? Are you crazy?
I said ID.
Why would I show you my ID?
Stop muting him.
Yeah,
Stop muting him.
He's not American already. He didn't even know what an ID is.
What are you talking about? What?
Why do you guys do that?
No, I'm not listening to any dirty foreigners talk about American politics. Let's move on.
Let me.
You suck.
Adams moved his ass mid-sentence. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, if you commit a crime, you have to go back home. So I understand why the Haitian was very focused on that. That is a stipulation for immigrants.
Whoever said bye-bye Eric Adams, please shut up. shit crazy. There's no bye-bye Eric Adams. Stop it.
What that mean? He leaving?
He needs to leave.
He doesn't. He was okay. New York was okay with every other mayor that came through. Why now with him? Stop it. Don't do that shit.
Cuomo's gonna stick his foot up.
Hey, stop it.
Let Joe
Stop
B
it.
talk. What happened, Joe B?
Well, Cuomo's gonna run for mayor, so it's gonna boot Eric Adams out. That's all it's saying.
Cuomo who?
Andrew Cuomo, you know.
The one that just raped the people?
No, I don't. The other one.
The other one. Hey, you hear this shit?
We shouldn't want no Cuomos in office after this.
Jazzy, did you hear the question I asked? Is he even eligible to run for mayor under New York law, given the fact that he resigned as governor?
Thank you.
So we're happy with Adams? I'm just curious. I don't live there. I don't have to put up with this shit.
It's better than a Cuomo alternative.
Is Cuomo the one that sexually assaulted the women?
We talk about Andrew, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So Andrew Cuomo's the old mayor of New York. I'm sorry, no.
Governor.
Cuomo, you guys are.
Governor.
Yeah, Cuomo, you guys are talking about is the one that used to be. I'm sorry, governor. The one you guys are talking about is the one that used to be a CNN host. Everybody made fun of him. They call him crazy.
No.
That's the younger brother. That's the younger brother. So hold on. There are three Cuomos.
Okay.
Hold on. There are three Cuomos. Their father used to be governor. Okay.
There you go.
Then Andrew, was governor during the pandemic, and it was a shit show. And then you have Chris, who is also famous as a news reporter, a journalist.
That's the news. Okay, get Chris Cuomo.
Right. So the one that's
Andrew
thinking about,
Cuomo,
I don't think that he's eligible, considering that he, and I could be wrong. You have to look at New York state law. If you resign, are you able to?
You're in the Matrix, but you have to look up why he resigned too. I don't think anyone's looking into that. He sexually assaulted women
But
while
Jasmine,
he was governor.
But here's the point that people aren't catching. Why would you reduce yourself when you were once a governor to now a mayor? That's you hustling backwards. What you hustling backwards for?
Well, that's usually how they do it, because you can only become a mayor for be a governor for so long. But I agree with you. They usually move forward to senator, but he would not receive votes as a senator because he's a sexual predator. The state knows this. That's why he resigned. So he's better off going into some local municipality with a bunch of people where he has their best interest at heart that will vote for him. I think he could easily win mayor, but he can't go forward to senator. That wouldn't work.
Joe Blackador, I'm reading the same Fox banner that you're reading. Don't get caught up in the banners that you're reading. Make sure that you're actually participating in the full process of what's happening.
Shut the fuck up. You know who you're talking to. I don't just sit there and blab my mouth.
Ma'am, I didn't come off like that. I didn't come off like that.
One second. Hold on.
I could have.
I have a question.
No, wait. I could have.
Wait,
Hey, yo, she got off the high horse, didn't she? My mama.
I don't put up with any shit from
You
idiots.
shouldn't be mad at her.
I don't put up with shit with idiots. Go ahead.
Joe Blackador,
You kiss my ass.
Ma'am, I do not want to kiss your ass. Let's relax, okay? We just have the conversation. But you came off real strong, man. If I would have come in off this mic and I would have called you outside your name and said some other shit, it would have got a lot different.
Oh, I'm scared. I'm shaking. Whoa.
No, it's. I'm not trying. I'm definitely not trying to scare you.
Hold on.
Shake you.
1 second. Can someone look up if
Yes, I can add about the reality of I don't think you have to actually use military forces to free your territory. We all, there was this thing where we all thought the Soviet Union, isn't going to fall. At the end of the day, it fell economically. I know everybody thought that the sanctions were supposed to work like immediately. I don't know why people think that. It's just common sense. They don't work immediately. If you look right now, what's the economic situation in Russia is not good. And if you continue putting the pressure and keep putting more sanctions, making Russia spend more and more on their military, and I think for this year, their entire year's budget, I think it was 37%. That's great. Went towards the military. My whole point is that you don't have to use Ukrainian soldiers to actually regain the territories. You could give plenty of weapons to Ukrainians, and I speak to a lot of soldiers. I help a lot of soldiers. And all they say is that we need weapons. There is, because so many times they just come as hordes. They literally is just wave after wave after wave. And 10 people would defend the field if they had good enough weapons and enough of ammunition. Because actually, if you think about it, Ukraine has been doing an incredible job of standing their ground and not letting Russia go further. Yes, there has been a very, very small progress. But if you think about it, when we're talking about manpower, if Russia had that much of a manpower, they would have gone like much further. It took almost 100,000 troops to take one city of Bakhmut. So I think it's economical pressuring them, so they have to spend more and more in their military, and then also keep cutting off their funds over and over and over, and keep pressuring them economically. It's going to get to the point where they're just going to run out of money, and that happened in Soviet Union. Afghanistan was the breaking point for the Soviet Union. They spent
but
so
10
much
years,
money on that war.
Katrina. I don't want 10 years.
Okay, but I'm not saying about 10 years, but you know what, but again, we weren't helping, you know what I mean? Like, if we actually give plenty of weapons to Ukraine, that they could continue to repel the attacks. Just dig in where you are and continue repelling the attacks. They can do that. And a lot of soldiers and military personnel in Ukraine has said that over and over and over. We don't need people, we need weapons.
I understand what you mean. I mean, I think we agree on economic front, right? But I don't agree with the protracted war, because my family is sitting under sirens which never stop. It's like the defense system that never stops 24/7, and you cannot even sleep. You know,
I know. I have family there too.
Yeah, but
like, if you give
I
more
don't want.
Patriot
Yeah,
systems,
it doesn't matter.
give
I just
more
don't want
F-16.
this. I don't want this protracted a little bit by little bit for 3 years and then for 7 years more. We had enough of this, so I think that there should be some movement. Anyway, Vadim, you already talked, so let's go to fifth.
I just wanted to give one brief numbers just for your information. You do whatever you want with it. So I just Googled it. And so Russia lost so far about 1% of its male population. The reduction of population in Ukraine is 25%. Now, it's not because of the deaths. Lots of them just immigrated.
Yeah, we know.
No, look at. Give me your sources. Where are you getting?
No, I don't want to transform this room into give me the sources and let's bicker about numbers. We know the losses. We know the things. There is nothing new. Immigration and displacement and refugees. We know all this. So, Vadim, so what's your point? I mean, we already know your point.
Attrition does not work for Ukraine.
Yeah, I don't want this war of attrition for Ukraine. Yes. Fifth, your turn.
Yeah, so I wanted to just a couple of things. So Britain and France are obviously they're signed on with the Budapest memorandum, so they can do whatever they want in this. They don't have to go to council, nothing. They can do that. Number two, Europe has obviously they have standing armies, they have armored vehicles and materials. They can unite and get into Ukraine and fight Russia. The challenge that they have is logistically, they're not set up. They're not set up right now for that. It's going to take them months to figure out how to put this together. And if it's, supplying and the whole logistics, not just men, but food, material, all that, it's a very complex operation that takes months to figure out and get into place. So Europe is not going to be immediately jumping on to do a physical force. Now, that being said, what Putin has been manipulating this whole time is he's understanding that the U.S. is doing whatever, and Europe is very broken and not really working together. He has been taking advantage of the fact that Europe is so fractured and the rest of the world doesn't really care. They're not involved. So Putin doesn't have a really fear against Europe. Now, if Europe gets together and they say, this is ridiculous, we're going to band together, we're going to come together and we're going to aggressively fight. We're going to do more concessions. Sanctions. We're going to do more of that. Plus, we're going to give Putin 30 days to pull out. If he doesn't, we're just going to send our planes to sink his navy. We're going to tell him in 30 days, if you're not completely out, we're going to sink what's rest of your navy. Done. And then in 30 days, start taking the ships up. Once in all the countries in Europe, there has to be drastic threats and there has to be a follow through. And Putin doesn't believe any of them is going to do it. The U.S. is the only one he's scared of that's actually going to provide everything that needs to be done. And unfortunately, Trump he's not going along with it right now. That could change. So just everybody get upset about what's going on right now. What's going on with Trump and Vance and the European Union, NATO, everything. This is a very dynamic, fluid situation. There's a lot of backdoor diplomacy, all kinds of things going on. This is going to take several weeks or a few months to actually iron out exactly how it's going to happen. So what's true today in 3 weeks could be completely go a different angle in a different way. So we are talking about a lot of stuff that is very interesting, but there are going to be a lot of adaptations and changes in the U.S. People don't understand. Foreigners, some people live in foreign countries understand this, some don't. In the U.S., the president can say do whatever. When it comes down to it, Congress says, you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to step forward and we're going to authorize this and that. The president can't do much. Now, he can veto. If they say we're going to approve aid, we're going to do this, the president can step forward and veto that. If Congress says, nope, we're going to do a 60%, we're going to override your veto, and we're going to push this through, the president at that point is powerless. He is basically Congress's bitch after that. He's not going to be able to force his foreign policy and all this other stuff. Congress is going to take over and basically start running and giving aid to these other countries and save the United States reputation and this international cooperation. Now, the question is Congress, is Republican-controlled Congress, are they strong enough? Do they have enough ethics and integrity and understanding of the situation to bind together and say, we need to put sanity back into it. We need to save these relationships. We need to go behind Trump's back because he's only going to be in office for 4 years. I don't think he's going to be in office for 4 years. I think within 2 years, he's going to be thrown out anyway. He's going to be completely thrown out of office. But if they can unite and say enough, we're gonna do the international diplomacy and agreements. You and Crazy Pants Vance needs to sit down and let the adults run the show until you learn and understand how this is supposed to go. That's basically my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I still cannot fathom that 3 years ago it took 3 years and nothing was achieved. Not nothing, but the victory kind of was not achieved. That the whole world, still with the U.S. on our side, with the U.S., with NATO, with Europe, with Canada, I know, with everybody, and just against one country, Russia, we couldn't really, we couldn't achieve better results, to put it mildly. And now we are at the brink of almost not surrendering, but almost having a deal that will be very detrimental to Ukraine. So it's also, we shouldn't forget that Putin has a lot of right-wing parties and people and businesses in his pocket in Europe, probably in the US as well. And it's not so smooth and easy for for countries to fight. So
Well, keep in mind those sanctions have been destroying the Russian economy and reserves, and they're teetering around the bank of absolute bankruptcy. They had to stop. They had to freeze the trade in the ruble because the ruble was plummeting so quickly in value. The Kremlin they just stopped it. So, and it's plummeting. If they reopen it, it's going to plummet. And the Russian economy, everything is so jacked up, and they're on the verge of civil war. People are demonstrating. It's frustrating to where if this continues on for another 6 months, I don't see Russia.
I hope you're right, but actually I don't hope, because I don't have any hope anymore, because every time something happens, it's worsening. So I was hopeful for 3 years, and now I simply am agnostic. I don't really have hope anymore, unfortunately. I hope you are right. Okay.
Can I just say briefly?
Dave, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I've been monitoring the war, right? I think for almost 2 months now, right? Ukraine has been systematically destroying the infrastructure that is important for Russian to generate revenue, like the oil and everything, right? And also, if you look at the report coming up from the war, right? Basically, Russia has no more. Russia is using normal car, using motorbike. Russia no longer using tanks and everything, So we are seeing the shift, demonstrating that Russia is losing a lot of capability to sustain what Russia can do during the, first 2 years, So it could be, which I hope, is like Battle of Britain, if Germany continue to attack, and it could completely wipe out the British Air Force, and British will finish, but by luck, just the last moment, Germany decide to stop. And I think we could be in this moment that if Ukraine just keep on, just like 5D is talking, things could change a lot. And because we are seeing the result right now. And most important thing is Ukraine bring European leader together in a united way have never seen before, also including Western leader. So I think this 3 years is not for nothing.
Thank you, Dave. Who wants to go next?
I'd like to say something.
Okay,
yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, talking about the U.S. Congress taking control of foreign policy.
This is Steve. Steve, be careful, please.
Okay. Well, I'm just pointing out some political realities within the United States. To think that a Republican-controlled Congress and a Republican-controlled Senate is going to turn on Trump and take his foreign policy away from him is to have little to no understanding of the electorate in the United States that voted for Donald Trump. So, and the idea of overriding a veto, I think that takes like 2/3 to do that. I could be wrong about that. But this idea that Trump's going to be thrown out of office and the House and the Senate's going to turn on this guy is to be totally devoid of any understanding of where the American electorate is at right at this moment. So, right. That's a fool's game there.
There's a lot of history, and I understand. I'm an American myself. I researched this. What he's doing is unprecedented in American history, and he is being fought left and right by the court system, even and the voters are turning against him. It's not, you have your opinion on that?
Well, I know I'm a politician myself, and I know where most of the electorate in my area is. I mean, the electorate in my area is not for changing what he's doing. People in the United States, this is the cold reality of what we're talking about here. And people in the United States have got tired of spending billions of dollars and up to $1 trillion in Iraq engage in these foreign entanglements for what security, for what purpose? And you could say, well, there's geopolitical considerations, true, but by and large, because of the wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, and the various entanglements we've gotten into for the past 20 years, the United States is tired of putting money in these protracted wars. And that's where they're at. Whether you like it or not, that's just where the American electorate is.
I understand that, and it is at the moment. But what's going to happen when his foreign policy, with all these things hit, and it backfires and starts destroying the U.S. economy? People are going to be outraged, and that's what I'm talking about. As the months go on, and the impact, the consequences of his policies, economic, all these different things, and everything he's doing that he doesn't understand. He's dismantling systems that are very complex that need to be in place, and he's causing millions and millions of dollars in legal fees for the government to represent him and the courts and the people. This is going to go on for a while, and then what's going to happen is, that's my point, is when the people feel the pain of the consequences of his decisions, he is not going to be in office for anymore. That's my point.
How are they going to remove him, Pitt? What impeachment mechanism are they going to remove him? Because you said 2 years. The only way you remove a duly elected president is through the impeachment process. And you think that you got 2/3? Article 25, right. You think they're going to pull that? There ain't no way.
We're thinking about that.
Well, I don't think anyone, it takes high-level people in his cabinet to go along with it. And I don't think there's anyone in the cabinet that he's currently assembled that's going to go with Article 25. And there is no one that thinks that 2/3 of the Senate is going to vote to impeach Trump and remove him from office. So whether you like it or not, whether it works out or it doesn't work out, we're in for a 4-year ride, and that's where it's at.
Well, that's your opinion, but I'm saying right now, that's the opinion. That's kind of what's going on. But as the months go on, you're thinking in the present. I'm looking at the future and how things are going to work out. And understanding history and economics and everything that he's doing everything opposite of what he's doing with economics, foreign policy, and all these other things he's doing. And when the consequences come back, he and the outrage and everything else, he's going to either have no choice but to resign, or he's probably just going to resign. But they may have no choice but to move forward and say this has got to stop and address these, because mild cognitive impairment, incipient dementia, he is showing clear signs of incipient dementia, and you've seen him talk. He goes off and you're like, what is he talking? He just goes off in Looney Tune land. So there may be enough evidence there as the months go on and everything piles up. I mean, like I said, you can think and have an opinion all you want, and I'm showing my opinion on what I perceive happening and everything else, and that changes. This is a very fluid, dynamic thing. We're at the start of what he's doing, and as the months go on, the American people are going to suffer the consequences over the next several months, year and a half, to where it could possibly devastate the U.S. economy, and he's going to be at the center of it. They're going to have no choice but to ask him to resign or remove him from office.
All right. Okay. So, anybody else wants to give some closing remarks? We came to the closing remarks already. It's 20 to midnight here. I'm a little bit losing my mind myself already. I had a long day. So I hope, Fifth, you are right. I don't know all these mechanics of impeachment and everything, but hopefully you're right. But I guess it will not happen so fast. I mean, the Ukraine resolution, the Ukraine peace agreement, and hopefully with the help of Europe, we will be able to withstand some period of time, maybe a year or so. So the same thing continues. Basically, what was happening for 3 years is now continuing. And what I hear from Ukraine is that, on these important meetings during these days, Russia strikes with even more missiles, more drones, more deaths, and continues in the way that they have been doing all this time. So,
Irina, what I want to say is keep coming back here, right? So far in the clubhouse, you provide a kind of a room for us to talk about Ukrainian topic, and we appreciate very much. I really think there is, we have to look back in history, right? Maybe 10 years, 20 years from now, and we know what is important decision made in 2025. All right, Trump is working for his second term, right? And he care about the legacy he left. And I think what happened in the White House, how he treated Zelensky, it created a lot of dispute between especially Democrats, especially as well some of the Republicans. And I think like 5D say, one possible way could be history repeat itself. It's just like how COVID destroyed chance for Trump to go to second term, a kind of pandemic or whatever before second term could repeat this thing. So everything is very fluid, like what 5D talk about. There are a lot of things going on. Even just treat the situation at the White House between Zelensky and Trump. It's like neighbor nation quarrel with each other. It's very normal. Sometimes you can look at the positive part because it's really pushed Europe to say, wow, F America, whatever, let's do it ourselves, blah, blah. So all these are very positive. And at the same time, it gives the American people say, what's going on with our president? So all these things are positive side of the development. And the most important thing, keep coming back and organize this room so we all can learn from each other.
Yeah, thank you. I actually thought it would be a positive room because I was pretty, excited that there was this emergency summit meeting in London with the Europeans and Canada, and all in support after this horrible Friday situation. And but it was kind of not mixed, but it was not 100%. Like a couple of points that they mentioned, like kind of were not so fast. We still need the US, we still need agreement, we still need this. So it looks like it's gonna be a long road, but it's
both from people like Aquarius that they consider us as subhuman.
That guy's where do sand monkeys originate from? What's the DNA of a sand monkey?
Not you.
Mama's in China.
No.
You guys are such
China?
victims.
Chill, Wednesday, chill.
Did I mention once about you being sand, whatever?
No,
Just a
but
victim.
I don't think so. We're speaking. It's called Aquarius. It's called being facetious.
We are
Continue your point.
related to the point. We are sand. There's nothing wrong with it. I just want to know about the sand monkeys. It's all very interesting.
They want to say sand nigga, but they don't have the balls to say it.
Well, we are sand niggas. We're all sand niggas. There's nothing.
That's right. I mean, I have no issue saying that, but I'm not even sure if it's even allowed on this platform.
It is.
Yeah, by only.
Okay, then yes. Then yes,
we are sand niggers. We are 110% sand
I'm a
niggers.
I'm a proud mountain highland sand nigger.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, and I drink camel urine as well.
No, I don't do that.
No.
Yeah,
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Really? Because I thought you was drinking camel cum.
Look,
Oh my
Wednesday,
God, did you have to know that?
Chill.
Sister, just Wednesday, okay? Like, I don't feel like doing it.
Oh my God, how can we?
Vamos, give me the moderation.
Oh my
But
God,
that's
you
not
see,
sand.
she's so
We're
different.
killing each other. We're all sand niggers.
Wait, what if, you know,
What is this?
Where the hell Nora?
I was theorizing, right? Like, what if both sides are cursed by God?
But they are.
Of course.
Your face is
No, what? Literally, let's think about it. What if both
well, I mean,
sides
think
are
about it
cursed by
this
God?
way.
What if God
Like
is
in terms of you can become a Menarun. You can become cursed.
If you're born a
Yeah,
monkey,
because
or
like
you
when I
curse
look at Hamas, I don't see Muslim actions. Like I don't know where it tells us to kidnap a 3-year-old. Like honestly, and then I look at Israel, and I see the same thing.
Hanafi, aren't you? Wait, Hanafi, I got a question. Are you a Maronite or are you a
American?
Lawful?
No, I'm
monkeys,
Muslim.
if you look at monkeys in the wild, they kidnap them.
But aren't you a Maronite? I mean, I'm not Maronite. Aren't you a Lawful though? Hanafi, aren't you a Lawful though? Sorry,
No. I left Rafidism when I was 18 years
Good
old.
for you, man. Good for you. That's so great.
Okay, good. So you're a human.
No, I'm intelligent. Yes, much more intelligent than the average Palestinian on this.
Okay, I mute everybody. I want to hear Rico. Rico, I haven't heard him.
You didn't get to hear me.
Rico's anti-Semitic.
Eat my
Rico.
He's anti-Semitic. That's what you want to hear, Amos? You want to hear that? Is that what you want to hear?
It's better than yes, I want to hear Rico, exactly. Rico, speak.
Eat my ass.
Yeah.
I
mean, this guy's a troll.
I told you, he's anti-Semitic.
I mean, look at his bio. He calls himself a mayo monkey.
Okay, somebody think he has a solution and surprise me with something new. I told you my solution. You're happy. I don't like. Okay, Wednesday.
I thought about this. I meditated. I've come up with a
told you my solution. You rejected it. Keep your mouth shut. Your solution. I heard your solution. It's enough.
So this is my solution.
I'm the only one with a real solution. No one speaking. Listen, now
No, the thing is this.
Be quiet. I mute everybody. Be quiet. No one speak.
Okay, can I give you guys my solution? I believe that Israel domestically needs to have a regime change, first of all. The regime needs to be more on the center, more moderate, more willing to take the negotiation route rather than let's allow settler expansion into West Bank and let's just collectively punish Palestinians, right?
Can we have a government of orangutans instead of sand monkeys?
Okay, whatever that means. And then, as a result of that, I believe that all efforts need to be made to seek some kind of negotiation with Palestinians.
You don't know what
I'm not saying
orangutan is?
And then during that negotiation, we need to have some kind of maybe 1967 borders, something where both sides can have their own sovereign nation, their own sovereign state, and there will be concessions on both ends. That's inevitable. But at the end of the day, I think this is the most sustainable solution.
Would you rather have a gorilla or a gorilla?
I want to answer, Noah, that when you talk to an Israeli and you tell him 67 port, it sounds very bad. Why very bad? Till 67, we only defend ourselves. In 67, wait, Amos is talking, nobody
You
interfered.
did not defend yourselves. You guys attacked
I'm
first.
talking, you will answer me after, you will not interfere me now.
Kibbutz is in 1967. That
If you don't give me my choices, tonight I start moving to the audience a lot of people. Ask Soren, maybe 4 or 5 times I put him down and back. Listen, when you speak to an Israeli Noah and you tell him 6-7 board, I tell you, no Israeli will accept it anymore. It's
But they used to offer it in other negotiations.
No, listen. No, now you listen. After I finish, you want to say something. I tell you, as an Israeli, as a leftist, no Israeli accept 67 boards. It's impossible. Now, if you don't know, there was Oslo conversation. Oslo conversation says there is a Kabbalon, it's a, let's say, a loan board, remove that we have an agreement moving settlers, we give the land to the Palestinian and we get peace. And the Palestinian look for the war. It doesn't matter right now what the excusing of everywhere. For my sake, it's good that we beat them, otherwise I wasn't here. I was in the sea somewhere, back in Yemen maybe. But to tell me 67 board to an Israeli and leftist, it's impossible. We take the Golan Heights, we take Jerusalem, we We take Sinai, we give all Sinai back to the Egyptian for peace agreement. We make peace with Jordan. And
but the 2020
it was taken back.
The 2020 plan by Trump, don't you think that played a big part in radicalizing Palestinians and Hamas? Because it was very triggering, right?
Listen, Donald, everybody knows that Donald Trump is a businessman and a crazy man. And today he can say that, and tomorrow he can you saw what he did to Zelensky. Tomorrow he will do it to Bibi Netanyahu, and he understands that there is no other solution. Instead of speaking to the Palestinians, he is all his advisor to Donald Trump, and I don't put one damn shit on Bibi anymore. He don't decide anything. Donald Trump decide for him. So first I tell you as an advice, don't say 67 board, it's impossible.
Almost gonna say we need all of Transjordan.
For the security, wait, Amos is
not just 67, we want all of Transjordan.
Yeah, but when Amos is speaking, I don't like people to interfere me. Don't say any more 67, look for the future. And you must understand the facts today. Yes, settlers is a fake. Bibi Netanyahu is a fake. This is what the Israeli vote. We are the most democratic country.
If it's not 1967 borders, what borders would you how much land would you carve out for the Palestinians?
You don't listen to Amos. You don't listen to Amos.
Amos, can I try to answer Israeli as well?
Wait. Amos is speaking, nobody interfering. Especially when Amos is speaking to a pretty woman like Noah in a clever conversation, Amos will be just.
Oh, so that's why she has motherfucker, you fly dog.
He wants a piece of that ass.
He always has that.
Amos, I forgot to put.
I respect Amos, bro.
He's game
recognized.
Amos, it's haram. I'm sorry, I can't.
Amos has his eye on the prize.
Now you all the judges be quiet. Okay, you say what you want, now be quiet and don't interfere.
No, Amos is speaking.
Rabbi, be quiet. No, so I tell you, and listen to what I tell you. There was also Oslo. Oslo, it's in Norway. The main capital city of Norway is Oslo, if you don't know. In Oslo sit a lot of clever people, including the Likud, Merido, writers, parliament members, people who are clever more than me and you, and have a lot of talking to late time at night. And they come to an agreement what belongs to Palestinian and what the Palestinian bring back to the Israeli. And Israel go very far. Even Israel, after Lebanon, they remove Yasser Arafat from Lebanon. They let him come from Tunis to Israel with weapon to control his people. Yasser Arafat decided he have another chance without Barak. There was a second chance here. He didn't accept it. He always want to have a war. And if he lead his people to a war, it's Yasser Arafat was the beginning. After this, there was a lot of a group like the Hamas in the end today, Jihad Islami, they all want to kill me. So I will kill them before. And for my sake, even the 7th of October, you see what's happened in Lebanon, you see what happened in Gaza. Maybe they will succeed, I don't know. How they finish the food and starving people and what will be in the end, I don't know. But there was Israel give all the years a hand for peace.
Who's starving?
And the Palestinians did not accept it. When the people understand that Israel and Yasser Arafat agreed to recognize, Mahmoud Abbas recognized Israel for the Jewish people. So don't tell anyone 67 board. It's even in Oslo, nobody talk about it.
48 borders, 48.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
want
Not
48.
67,
We
yeah.
want
So then,
48.
yeah, of course.
By the way, there's something to
Keep on
add
with
for
your
some of the
reading.
people in here.
Try to speak with two legs on the ground when two people conversation, one is listen and one is talking.
Make 48 great again.
Pamela, I heard you once.
Actually,
said it twice.
Actually, though, oddly enough, Marlon's
You know, I sit
kind of
in
right.
rooms, in a room, and I hear all the lies you're saying. And it's very difficult, but I'm listening to it. I prefer these lies on the Jewish haters, Arab haters. I prefer to hear you lies.
Right.
Okay, so if I may,
Wait. I want to
Okay,
give.
let's see if you have something new to tell me. Come, Paul.
Yeah. I want to say something
Okay,
about
so-
the others. Wait a minute. So the question that Nuha said asked is why can't we think about the Palestinian state and the borders and start peace negotiations and all this stuff? I'll tell you why I think that this problem is not going to be solved in the next probably 10 years, maybe even more. If you look at on YouTube or on TikTok and anywhere, there are lots of videos as some journalist is going around the Judea, Samaria, all those areas, and he's asking young people, because most of them are young, right? Most of them are like in their 20s, and he asked them two
What's
questions.
Judea and
One,
Samaria? What is it?
that's what used to be called West Bank. So
I never heard of it. I don't know.
right. Well, I mean, you can look it up on the map. It's like on the
When I
maps.
type in Judea and Samaria.
Right. So when he asked them basically two questions. One question is, are you okay if Jews are going to live with you, among you? And the second question is, are you okay to have two states, and two states on this land, basically, right? Live side by side. What do you think the answer, like 100% of them answered the same. What do you think the answer is to both?
Yes, of course, yes. They want
But didn't the Hamas representative go out saying that they're actually pushing for that solution? That's what they want. So the most radical group.
What do you think they said? I mean, do they want to live
yes,
with Jews?
yes, we want it.
They've
And do they want
said
it to stay?
recently that they are open to negotiate like a 1967 kind of arrangement.
But who are we going to negotiate with if all of them are supporting one state and it's all Palestine state and it's all Palestine without Jews? They don't really care how we get
nobody.
That's the only thing they support.
They have the capacity to change their minds and become more pragmatic and realistic, because obviously their previous solution, which is like to be more like intransigent, has kind of failed. So I feel like they're probably more like realistic about it now, and they realize they need to.
No, I'm telling you about the clips that were shot like in the past year after the attack. There's more support for Hamas in Judea and Samaria or whatever West Bank than there is in Gaza. Did you know that?
Well, because of the fact, for one of the main reasons for that is because a lot of people in the West Bank, they see the PA as essentially being a failure, because they say that the PA really hasn't achieved much of anything at all. Also coupled in within the fact that the level of internal corruption within the PA leadership is extraordinarily high. Even, for example, if we take a look at Mahmoud Abbas, for example, his term ended over a decade and a half ago, yet he's still in power. So there's a variety of issues. You guys are putting this as you guys are seemingly insinuating this as a one-off thing. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Something else to add as well, I'm not saying specifically for anyone here, but I'm saying in the general discourse, people from the Zionist side, for some weird reason, try to bring up Saudi Arabia, for example, in terms of the whole normalization. When even if MBS has officially said that the only way that normalization ties will even happen is on the basis of 48 borders. MBS wants 48 borders. Forget about 67. And that seems to be like a big thing
bring back 40,
for a lot of people on the Israeli Zionist side in terms of normalization ties. So, yeah.
We want 48. We want 40.
It might be a way forward. I mean, if we need to replace this corrupt government, if we need to ensure that there are no terrorists and that people actually start changing their views that this is their land and if they want their land, they will have to make secessions and accept Israel forever and don't displace. If not, then it's a problem for them because I mean all peace negotiations have failed. So there needs to be something different to business.
So about
And it's also part of something else.
because the West Bank is disproportionately in favor of Hamas, you think you've lost hope in the Palestinian people and the right for them to
No, the
have a
Palestinian
state?
people are going to find the same fate as the Romans.
So,
Exactly
so
the
you same. You think that
They're
this
not
is the,
foreigners, though.
okay? So you believe in just one
They're
Israeli
all
state
foreigners.
across the region? And,
No, they really aren't.
Yes,
I don't know.
The DNA says otherwise.
No, it doesn't.
It might be the best.
Really
the best
does.
thing for them. If they want to live in peace, Israel knows how to live.
You want Kumalu, after Vels and Nuha are done, I can cook you on that. Don't worry.
do you think that emboldens them more to actually support
that's
the,
not correct.
like even the moderates become violent as a result of this solution?
Whoever wants to die, again, whoever wants to die to prevent peace is going to die. Again, we're talking about peace here. It's not like we're going to come in and kill everyone just for the sake of it. The
By the
offer
way,
on the table
Vels,
is peace.
peace does not mean total capitulation, by the way.
It promotes a toxic cycle where like you guys say this stuff, the Palestinians get more radical, and then you guys say, you see, look, they are terrorists after all, and then it's like,
Because
it's
it
like
is
a
true.
cycle.
Well, it is true. If your only answer to the peace offering is, yeah, no, I will kill you anyway because I'm still aggravated, whatever. I don't even care what they say. If the only offer is to kill me instead, they're terrorists. That's it. That's the definition.
Yeah, happened to the Romans.
But aren't you presupposing that they want to kill you?
No, I mean, I literally see them try to do it almost every day in Israel.
They're just going to die on their own sword. They're going to kill themselves by their own sword. That's what's happening with the Palestinians. Yep.
And time will erode the state of Israel. Your point is?
Well, my point is that if we look at where we are right now, where's Gaza going to be in 5 years' time?
Still there.
Where is it going to be?
Still, yeah, essentially still there.
Okay, we'll come back in 5 years. We'll see what's there.
Yeah, we'll still be there. They'll still be there. Can I get more?
That's if you're around to talk in 5 years, Pumal.
You're on Trump's penis.
Peace be upon him, Donald Trump.
I'm sure. That's
Donald Trump.
That's your prophet.
Yep. Read it and weep. Watch it and weep.
Watch it and weep. Okay.
I mean, all of them are essentially lapdogs. Whether it be Biden, Trump, whomever.
How is Kazar? Kazar, I didn't listen to him. Kazar, you come to sleep here, you have to pay rent. Kazar.
Yeah, I'm late on my rent. I'm short this month.
Amos is speaking.
Who's talking to me?
Trisha, can
You late in the end, boy, it will be cost a lot, you know.
I'm listening.
It's expensive these days.
Kazar, let's see, where are you from, Kazar? How old are you?
I'm from Jenin. Where are you from?
You're from Jenin, right now you're in Jenin?
I am in Jenin, yes.
You connected with the Hamas groups who fight against the IDF?
Who's the IDF? The terrorist Israeli motherfuckers?
Israeli motherfuckers, yeah. Do you fight against them?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yes?
Jenin isn't a mess, though. They're a separate thing.
We're gonna do it.
I told you, Amos, he's gonna attack your kibbutz.
Okay, I want to speak only to Kazar. Kazar, what do you think about the hostages?
I'm doing some in the sun. Wish you were here.
The hostage, the Israeli prisoners in Gaza, yeah,
They need to get released after you guys agree, like have agreement. You need to have like that's it. You lost the war, brother. You lost the war.
How old are you? How old are you, Kazan?
22.
22. You have a wife, children.
I have your sister sucking my dick right now.
But you have a dick to make sex if I give you my sister?
She's sucking it right now. I mean, just wait a moment until I come.
Hey, bro. Ramadan, bro.
But you say you know what to do? You know where to put it? You know
What
what
do
to
you mean?
do with
She's
the
sucking it with her mouth.
Of the people from
Her
Jenin
mouth
and
right now
Kitover.
sucking in my dick.
You are a great representative. Well done to Jenin. And
Like, can we, like, I know you guys are both joking and
So this
everything.
is the thing.
Please.
Okay, let's talk serious right now. Israel lost the war in Gaza after 1 year and a half fighting, killing babies, making genocide and stuff like that. They threatened they're gonna go back to fight. Bro, what are you gonna fight? You destroyed buildings and killed babies.
Tell me,
Hamas fighters. Okay, this is the thing. Last sentence. Shut up. Last sentence. In during this 42 days, Hamas made funeral for the soldiers that they killed. Hamas soldiers that they killed. Actually, you know how many Hamas soldiers got killed in the whole 1 point year, like 1.5 year? 25. 25 people.
Okay.
25 Hamas soldiers in Gaza got killed in 1 year and a half.
You finish your time.
1 year and a half, they killed over
tell me
60,000
something.
innocent people,
Yes,
saying
yes,
that they killed all Hamas. Hamas made funeral for 25 people.
Kaza, I heard you too much, and I'm asking you to
At
be
the
quiet.
same time, Hamas killed over
just jump
2,000 soldiers
you
in Gaza, inside Gaza, and injured more than 7,000. Wow.
Listen,
Seven over 6,000 injured.
keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, 12,000 Israeli got killed, over 10,000 got killed.
Kassar, I remove you now. You don't give me any other choice, so I put you down. You forgive me, but I want.
No, what do you want? Just tell me what you want. Okay, I'm listening.
No, but you're listening not here because you interfere me. Now, I want now. Out of the kibbutz. And what, you want to come to my kibbutz?
I would come to your kibbutz.
Yes? Where are you from that you want to come to my kibbutz? Where are you from?
I would come to your kibbutz if you invite me.
I invite you. Where are you now?
No, it doesn't matter where I'm from. I'll come to the kibbutz.
No, I'm not talking to Rabbi. I'm talking to now.
I'm in Chicago. I'm here now, and I gotta tell you, people in this clown house room, you know, if they want coexistence, they have to learn how to find peace with themselves. And the Palestinians will never have coexistence until they find peace with themselves. A two-state solution will never work when men and women can't find peace with themselves and they choose violence and anger all the time. It will not work. It cannot work. The only revolution that they can accept is one that they themselves choose to change themselves. Listen to them in the room right now. They can't even go on mute. They are incapable of living in peace and joy. But even in this room, in the large world scale, they will not survive. And as Pomalu said, they will go the way of the Romans. They will disappear. Bye-bye.
What are you talking about? Pamela was sucking on a hot dog right now.
Now, he's
That being said, though, now, for one, I'm not Palestinian. States not Palestinian. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's any.
Good, then you should mind your P's and Q's and don't speak for people that you don't represent.
No. I actually can. And when it comes to the situation, when it comes to the situation in the case of Al-Aqsa, then yes, it is absolutely of my concern.
Why?
In every way, shape, and form. Because it is the concern of 2 billion people from the Ivory Coast to Indonesia.
Okay, but do you agree that
That's why.
But you do know what is under Al-Aqsa? Returning the contact. Under Al-Aqsa, yes. You know what is under Al-Aqsa.
No, but I'm saying
that Trump
and Vance staged all that this was all intended, and that Zelensky should never, talk to the U.S. I mean, he should be proud of himself and go back and don't talk to Trump. I mean, just use the Europeans and fight whatever. I don't know what they think.
I don't understand the staged remark on behalf of Trump. I mean, wasn't Zelensky the one who wanted it to be more public? And when I watched the full video, it seems like there are a lot of efforts on Trump to redirect and get it back on course and not go into the litigation. That Zelensky, really tried to push it that way. So I have a hard time understanding how it was staged by them.
Yeah, I personally don't think it was staged. That's my feeling. But
And Trump said a few times that should not have been done in front of the American people. He seems to be mad it was brought up on camera.
I watched the whole video.
Well, that's good. So that's some self-awareness.
At 24 minutes, Zelensky first says that you didn't help us out. 25 times he broke his agreements. He kept pushing for air support. He kept pushing the envelope of saying, like, back to 2014, you could watch Trump's anger building. But it was Vance who really pushed it. Like,
How's the TV show going?
He was agitated. I don't know whether they staged the whole thing, but when you got an agitated guy there in front of the cameras, I don't think they should have poked him the way that they did. I think they were ready for whatever outcome, but Zelensky just wouldn't shut his mouth. At least 4 times he kept saying, what happens if the Russians don't live up to their deal? They haven't lived up to it 25 different times. He kept pushing, he kept pushing. At one point, Trump could have just said, okay, enough, we're not going to litigate this here in front of the cameras and close the thing out. But he didn't, and he got really pissed at the end. But if you look back at 24 minutes in, every time Zelensky talks, you can just watch Trump's face get angrier and angrier.
I think I agree with that, but I think it actually started way before that when Zelensky was basically not allowing Trump any kind of political staging in the meeting 10 or 11 minutes in, and was kept reinforcing like how much the commitment by the Europeans had amounted to, basically trying to make a comparison between Europe and the U.S. and downplay what the U.S. had given, or at least I think that's how it could have been perceived. I'm not sure what Zelensky's intention or what he was trying to get across. I think a translator probably would have been a wise move here, but yeah, I think it started well before that.
I would agree with that. The feeling I got, the way that Vance jumped on him, like viciously, I bet it started in Munich. I bet this was something that the two of them were repeating. They got into it heated in Munich, and it just seemed like they were picking up right where they left off.
Yeah, I mean, is it last week or a couple weeks almost now, where Rubio does a little interview about how Zelensky has been, one way behind closed doors and then another way in front of people, and it keeps backtracking the negotiations. So I feel like there was a boiling point where they finally just said, okay, let's do it all out front. Like the analogy I used with some friends was, if you have kids, you tell your mom privately, let's not give them the snacks, and then they try to give the snacks in front of company. And at a certain point, you don't want to disrespect your mother or anything like that in front of people. So at a certain point, you have to say, okay, we talked about this, no more snacks, and take the private into the public slightly. And I feel something like that has been happening.
I mean, I don't begrudge Zelensky any efforts, from his perspective to get what he thinks that they need. I do think it's a real tragedy that the way that it played out, frankly.
I don't begrudge Zelensky for trying to negotiate the best for his country. I mean, he should be doing that, but his tactics are terrible. And I've been seeing his tactics as being terrible for a long time now. So he was definitely getting Trump more and more upset. Now we can spend the rest of the time talking about how big of a baby Trump is, and that Macron had to stroke his ego, even though Macron clearly doesn't like him, and all that. That's all true. But the bottom line is, you walked in and you were asking for billions of dollars in support, and like, do it right. Like, he's just not good at his job. The only reason why he has been getting support for his country is because he has a really sympathetic cause, not because he's good at his job.
And at what point do you realize you're losing and just shut your fucking mouth?
With him, apparently never. And he definitely should have walked in with a negotiator. It's a very big difference when you're walking into a sympathetic and you can use your broken English and you're like, that all works. And you come in like street clothes because you're too busy to get, like, that's fine. That all makes sense. But once you're coming up against someone who has campaigned on ending the war, and you went to a purple state and you went with his opponent, like, you're walking, come in with an interpreter that understands, like, the American, like, do it right. Like, just be smart about it at this point.
I think Mayor has a really good point that he has a noble cause, but he's really shit at his ability to be diplomatic in that sense. And it's even worse than what we saw on display here. Zelensky is known to be incredibly thin-skinned, and even to some degree, like, narcissistically sensitive to, like, not even, I wouldn't even call it criticism, but just like accurate analysis of how the war is going, but that isn't necessarily constantly affirmative, and he gets like really sensitive about anything that is not like, you're winning, you're kicking ass. He's very, so there was always going to be some possibility of Zelensky like mouthing or like not being as diplomatic as he should be in this situation. But at the same time, all this talk about like this, like whether or not I think what the outcome was preordained either way. Even if he had performed perfectly, it's not as if Trump is going to say, oh, you know what? Well, this went so well, I actually am going to adopt the Biden approach or something. Like, Trump has made it very clear, Vance has made it even more clear where the cards were going to fall, with or without Zelensky's errors. They didn't really amount to anything at the end, although I think we could all agree he fucked up.
I think there's room around the edges. He could have gotten a little more guarantee. Like, there's room for negotiation. He wouldn't have gotten American planes to fly over Moscow, but there's room that he could have gotten more.
Yeah, I think that there's a very much bigger picture that led up to the way Zelensky handled himself within the Oval Office. And me personally, I can't say I blame him due to how Trump negotiated to start with. I think when it comes to just like Ukraine in itself, it declared its independency in 1991, I believe. And then like in 2004, Russia had illegally occupied Crimea. And then in 2019, Ukraine constitution was amended by the EU. So somewhere around there, the EU, they were in talks, and there are like criteria they have to meet to become a part of NATO. And one of those criteria is you're not supposed to be at war. Russia caught wind of it, and of course they started this whole war. But they were in talks with the EU. So when President Trump, when he became president, he went at our allies and the EU saying, hey, you guys have debt, right? And you guys have to pay that back.